Cancer, my name is Darcie. I'm recording your video for a second time, so I'm kind of like, ugh. I'm just trying to get the, I don't know, angle of the video right so you can see the cards better. It's kind of frustrating. I know you guys like to see the cards, but I might just go back to holding them up for you. And I'd be on the camera instead. I'm going to dive right into your reading. This is a monthly reading for July 2020 for Cancer. That's in your sun sign, moon sign, rising, or Venus. If Cancer are in any of those parts of your natal chart, then this is for you. I'm using my 3 decks that I always use. I have my Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck by Kyle Gray, the very rare and exclusive Crystal Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, and then I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Okay. Alright. I'm sorry, I'm a little like down right now. The reading started off so good, and then I realized I had no room to put the cards anywhere. So let's try this again. I call upon the angels of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones. I call on you and welcome you here now. I set the intention that whatever is gained from lessons learned from these tools will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places, and so it is. That is the affirmation for the Kyle Gray Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. I say it every time because I just think it's perfect. So what does the ancestors have for my Cancers for the month of July? Arrow is the underlining. Surround yourself with protective energy. That was similar to actually the message I had earlier for you guys. And 3 cards again. Ooh, and this was your underlining last time. Very interesting. The Seer. So I will figure out a way to make it so the cards aren't upside down for you guys, I promise. But I do want to get these videos out to you, so I'm just going to go with it. So we have here the Hunter, very strong Capricorn. And Aries in this card. So the Hunter is track down your fears and desires. Not being afraid to look at the shadow side of yourself. And having the Arrow for your overall message. That's interesting. Mother Earth was underneath your underlining card last time too, which is feel loved and comforted. I think that's what you're longing for right now, Cancer. Because the arrow is, so a broken arrow in Native American culture was a sign of like the end of a war. It was a peace sign. So the arrow is the need to defend, you know, and protect what is yours or what you deem that is yours. That could be your heart, that could be your property, family, loved ones, a relationship. You're just feeling the need to be protected right now. You might be in a lot of fear. Which is understandable. You know, we're all in times of great change, and change can be really fearful for some people. Most people, really. Then you have the Wise One. I love this card. This is Mother Crone. It says grow within your current situation. So if you're able to look within, or maybe even see the bigger picture in the situation here, Cancer. If you're able to look at the bigger picture, go within yourself, write, journal it down to figure out what is it that you're so afraid of right now. And maybe it's something that's beyond your control, and you can give it to higher power, spirit. Whatever it is that is challenging and making you fearful right now, or making you feel like you need to protect yourself, it's going to help you grow. The current situation that you're in this coming July, maybe you're already in it right now. It's actually going to help you grow, but it might be painful for you at this moment, or maybe in the beginning of July. And then you have the seer again, so she came out when I did your first take. I'll call it the first try. So see beyond the current situation. You know, she's all about the Cancerian energy. She's really about going within, looking for spirit to guide her. You know, she has a cloak over her eyes, but yet she can see so clearly. She uses her intuition and her third eye, her psychic ability, to see beyond what is going on in the present moment. You know, again, seeing the bigger picture, trying to see where do you want to be, even just a month from now, 5 months, 6 months, a year. You know, kind of look at it that way. And if that's not helpful, if that makes you more stressed out, because that's how I just felt, but that could just be my energy. Because I'm very much a person that likes to stay in the now. Like I'm very comfortable in the now. I'm not comfortable when I look too much out into the future, because I really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like forget 5 years, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen in an hour. Really, I mean, I could make a plan, of course. I could say, oh, I'm going to go to the park. But, like, just for example. But maybe I won't. You know, something could happen that I can't do that. You know what I mean? Having the wise one come out here, and the seer, but especially Mother Crone with the crow and the owl, I really feel like your ancestors are guiding you along the way, and they're going to help you and show you signs, especially birds. That was the message the other time, and having a crow and an owl here. The other one was an eagle, but that's very rare. It's more rare than an owl or a crow, right? Those will be signs from your guardians telling you that you're on the right path. When you see those, or any kind of bird, doesn't have to be a crow or an owl, but especially if it is a crow or an owl, that is definitely your ancestors, past loved ones. They're giving you signs. Whatever you were thinking of, and the light just got brighter. I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah. Yeah, so if you see a crow or an owl or any kind of bird, definitely take note that your guardians are trying to show you something, tell you something, or just let you know that you're on the right track. Alright. So we have busy times and multitasking, calcite. Take charge of your schedule during these busy times and honestly assess your underlying reason for being busy. Lots of fire in here. There's a lot of fire in this card. Yeah, you might be feeling burnt out, is what I'm hearing. Being busy, busy times ahead, or having a lot to do, multitasking. It's not a bad thing, Cancer. But if it's draining you, making you feel like you have to protect your energy because you're getting drained, then it's really a good time. Your guardians and angels are definitely telling you to just make a schedule. Look at, if you haven't actually written it out, then do so, or just look at it and take an honest assessment of your to-do lists. And is there a reason behind all this busyness? Is it unnecessary? Is some of it unnecessary? And if it is, if you're intuitively feeling that it's unnecessary for you to do such and such, ask yourself, why do you feel like you need to? Is it seeking validation in some way? Is it overgiving? Because it's more comfortable to give than to give to ourselves. Most people feel that way. You're not alone in that at all, Cancer. Jeez, 4 cards. My goodness. You got a lot of cards last time, too. Usually I like to have just like 1, 2 at most for the oracles because I want to get into the tarot for you, into the nitty-gritty, right? Alright, so you have Cyanite. Make time for self-care. Yeah, and so I was just talking about taking care of yourself is essential right now. Yeah, so that's just clarifying and confirming the overall message of looking at your schedule and making sure that you're not burning out by overgiving to others. It's completely healthy and loving to give to yourself, even though for some reason society has made us all think that that's a selfish thing to do, but it's not at all, because if we don't, then we're actually going to burn out and we can become grouchy or snappy or make a bad decision, right? And if we had taken the time for ourselves, that could have been avoided, you know. Then you have Topaz, forgiveness heals. Time to release repressed anger. I was just talking about being snappy, oh my god. Time to release repressed anger as it's blocking your health and happiness. So Topaz will help you with that. Topaz is a very, very ancient stone. It's a powerful stone. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Ho'oponopono prayer, but it basically it goes, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you don't have to say it to the person. And I've actually done it a lot for myself too. That was kind of hard to get to that point, but I have, and I find it so beneficial and relieving to actually say the Ho'oponopono prayer to myself. You can look that up in YouTube. I'm sure there's tons of meditations on it too, if that's something that you feel guided to look for or to do for yourself or for another person. Especially if you're angry at someone, you know, all you gotta do is really just like think about that person and then say the prayer. Even if they hurt you, if forgiveness, it just kind of frees the energy. It frees you. It might not free them, but it frees you. Usually a lot of people in the spiritual world will say that it also frees that person too, even if they don't know it. You have here Sodalite. Socialize or join in. Make healthy and supportive new friendships and connections by getting involved with a group of like-minded people. This card, it looks like a boy, right? This looks like a kid. Out of all like the angels, some look younger than the others. I mean, even the Topaz looks a little older in the facial features than the Topaz. I mean, than the Sodalite. See how the Sodalite's so young? It's like a little older. The Kyanite is definitely an adult, young, 20s, early 30s. And then this rose quartz here seems like 35 to 45, the older, a little older, more matured. Interesting. I'm getting the message for you, Cancer. It's either a family situation where you need to forgive yourself for maybe making choices when you were younger that hurt yourself or others. It could be just the entire family situation where you and your spouse and the children, like it's maybe you had some difficult situations or times, and like the whole family needs a forgiveness healing. Or it's you forgiving yourself in different phases of your life. You're like energetically maturing, I feel like. And also I'm really getting the other energy is a very strong family healing energy. And it does involve two children, at least one, if not two. And it's a girl, there's a girl and a boy here, child. And this is, the rose quartz is clearly a female angel. This could be either or. It could be a masculine or a feminine angel. A lot of them aren't, they don't always look specific to a gender, you know. But because of the blue, I'm kind of picking up like a masculine energy. Really interesting. And then the rose quartz at the end is love life. New or renewed romantic love is here for you. Just beautiful card. So once you make some time for self-care, or maybe give someone space for their own self-care, releasing the anger that's blocking your health and happiness, or maybe the health and happiness of others, socializing, joining with supportive friends, or even like an online group of like-minded people. It's a supportive and healthy group and new friendships that you either are receiving in July or now, from now through July, or it's spirit asking you to embrace that aspect, however that shows up in your life. Even if it's for like your child maybe is joining a new group of friends, like, and maybe you're worried about it. If it's supportive and healthy, Spirit's saying that it's gonna be healthy and good for them and for you. Maybe you'll meet their parents, right? And you'll realize, hey, we have a lot alike. If you are a single parent, I'm really picking up on parents, I don't know why. Or if you're just single in general, it's saying that new or renewed. So if you are in a committed relationship, it will be renewed. Romantic love is here for you, and if you're single, then some new love's coming your way. You know, but it's definitely guiding you to release this anger with forgiveness. And definitely making time for self-care. Remember that your spirit guides are going to be talking to you through the image of birds. Don't be afraid to look at your fears and desires, right? Like, desire, I feel in that card is like a sexual desire. It's natural. Like, don't be afraid of that. Like, it's completely natural to want that, you know. And I can understand, I'm not a parent, but I can see or feel like how that might be like a guilty thing, especially if they're like, you know, a little older, like teenagers, you know, maybe, and you're looking for new love, but you feel kind of guilty. I can see that. And the only reason I say that is because I've had experiences in my past with people that are close to me in my life who have, you know, discussed that with me, or, you know, I've noticed it, kind of thing. It's totally understandable. But, you know, this card here, the Hunter, It's saying like not to worry about that. Like you don't need to feel that way. It's a natural thing for you to want. And whatever this current situation that you're in that's challenging you, that's draining you, like to see beyond it and definitely use these self-care tips and tools. The forgiveness Ho'oponopono prayer will all be really helpful, and especially joining a group of like-minded people to help you through this. If you haven't already, because you got some new love or renewed love coming your way, so that's good. That's good stuff, Cancer. Alright, so now we're going to get into the tarot. What is my, for my Cancerians, what is their current energy for the month of July 2020? Yeah, oh my gosh. The Devil card, Cancer. You're feeling really controlled. The first video I did, the underlining for the angel cards, the crystal angels, was Tiger's Eye. No, Yellow Jasper, excuse me, it was Yellow Jasper. And Yellow Jasper talks about control issues. And let's see if I can find it. Talks about control issues, and it talks about knowing that you have the strength and the power within. It says something about using your God-given, where is it? It should be on the bottom. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I can't find it. Using your God-given abilities, like to, here we go. Yeah, like own your divine power. You know, you have the power to have the strength to get through these challenging times, instead of fearing that others may try to control you. You know, like you are in control of your own life, your own destiny. You really are. I know sometimes it's so hard to see that. It's really hard, and I get it. But I just heard doing, well, daily affirmations. Time, just landed on the make time for self-care. Taking care of yourself is essential right now. Okay, so that can be your self-care task. Every morning, listen, or there's tons on YouTube of, you know, like morning or daily affirmations. You know, just look in the mirror and just tell yourself, like, I am enough. Like, I am strong, I am brave, I am powerful, I am in control of my destiny. You know, I have, you know, however you want to say it, people's beliefs are a little different. Some will resonate with saying, like, I have the power of God or the power of the universe within me. Others will say, like, I am protected and guarded by all the archangels and all the beings of light that be, or both. I'm kind of a both person. You know, things like that, you know, to help you feel protected, right? Because that was one of your cards, is the arrow was saying, like, you feel the need that you need to be protected right now. If there is, like, some sort of serious abuse going on for you, Cancer, though, obviously, you know, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but you know, seek help if you're in a serious situation, of course. You know, like physical abuse, things like that. But yeah, the Devil is just, it's all about just being chained, feeling chained or bonded to something that's toxic. It could be as, you know, it could be as, like, I don't want to say simple, because sometimes it's not simple. Like drinking too much, or maybe your partner is. Also the Hunter, I believe, is representation of the Devil in this oracle deck. Yeah, because it's also about sexuality, and so is this one. The Devil's about, in the tarot, is fear and sexuality, being bonded and chained. The Hunter is about tracking down your fears and desires, right? Same thing. could be a Capricorn in your life that's making you feel like you're being controlled in some way, manipulated. But the other thing about the Devil card is, in the tarot it talks about, you know, the only power the devil has is what we believe it has, right? And that's so much about the control issues. You know, to realize that I'm only letting this person have the power that I'm letting them have, right? Like, if I don't believe they have power over me, they don't. It's all how we think. It's what we believe. Alright, any challenges for July for my Cancers besides being in this energy? Wanting to flee. Yeah. Advice? Advice for Cancers in July. And the possible outcome. And clarify the devil for me for my Cancers, please. Could be a work situation that's making you really feel stressed out, controlled, tied down. Can you clarify the Six of Swords for me for clarify the Six of Swords for Cancer, sign of Cancer. Oh gosh, Cancer. Ugh. I'm just like feeling your pain right now. Alright, clarify the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, please. Clarify the Knight of Swords and the Moon, please. And the Moon is your card, Cancer, by the way. Okay. Alright, are you ready for a gigantic spread? Alright, so your overall energy for July, again, you're feeling trapped and bonded. Like you're feeling like you're in this toxic situation that you can't seem to get out of. And it was clarified by the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So, I'm feeling like it's work or love or both. I feel like you might be torn between your career and a really passionate love interest. Could be in a fire sign. They could have fire in their chart. Your work, your boss could be definitely in earth sign with the Devil card here. The Eight of Pentacles is about showing off your work, really being putting the attention in the detail. And we have this Knight of Wands, and he's charging towards this work, right? Like he's you could just be actually just really passionate and wanting to like dive into a new work interest, you know, something that's actually you're really passionate about. Yeah, I'm actually feeling that a little bit more here. But you're feeling like you can't break free of this like toxic cycle, whatever this is, or something that's unhealthy is holding you back from this really passionate project or career that you can see yourself really succeeding at. Because the Knight of Wands, he is just like chomping at the bit to like giddy up and go. Like he's like ready, you know, but he's not moving yet. He's definitely excited to, he wants to, but he can't yet. And so that's clarifying this being stuck and trapped in this devil energy. And maybe you're feeling like you need to know more about the details before you can actually make a move, because the challenge is the Six of Swords, which is making that move. Possibly with your family, or with a love interest. Again, there's a child in this picture, but it could just be with yourself. I'm not feeling that though. I'm feeling like it's with someone that you're interested in or that you're already with. And there may be a child involved, or you can see yourself having a child with this person. And so the Six of Swords is, this man is protecting his loved ones. In this picture it's his wife and child. And he's protecting them with all these swords around them. And he's pushing them out of this crazy, chaotic water into calmer seas. And there's land ahead. It's moving into a better space, a better, calmer area, more emotionally calm. Just like smooth sailing, That's the challenge. And I think it's keeping you up at night. Like, you want this victory. You're tired of being wounded and battled. You don't want any more of that. You're so done with it, and it's keeping you up at night. Because you have here the Nine of Wands in the reversed, the Nine of Swords in the upright, and then the Four of Wands. So 9-9, that could be, you could be seeing that a lot. 11-11 as well, because the Four of Wands represents 11-11. You could be seeing those numbers a lot, either now or in July. Yeah. Maybe 6-6 as well. Or 6-7-8. Okay, sorry, I get distracted by the numbers sometimes. Yeah, you're just, with these cards, like, you're really tired of always, because the Nine of Wands, like, this guy's been through battle, he's tired, and in the reverse, you're all done with that. You're done feeling that way. You don't want any more battles. You just want to go into this smooth sailing. And the Nine of Wands, it's keeping you up at night. You really want this victory. That's what the Four of Wands is. It's victory, celebration, weddings, good times, It's feeling victorious with others too. It's not like a solo victory, like the Six of Wands is like a solo victory. The Four of Wands is it's a collaborated celebration and victory and just like overall happiness. It's the luck of the gods, or the luck of the universe, right? With 11-11, like, the saying 11-11 make a wish kind of thing. You want that so bad, Cancer, and it's really keeping you up at night worrying that you might not be able to get out of this devil energy here and make your move with possibly a loved one here. I think it's definitely involving either just, your loved ones or a group of people. So the advice here is the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles can talk about a few things. What I'm feeling mostly for you, Cancer, is that, so the Ace of Swords is obviously clarity. It's like the aha moment. It's a new beginning and seeing something completely different. So that's awesome. And it also has the Four of Swords behind it. So the Four of Pentacles, he's actually like he's the only minor arcana that's not a king, but has a crown. Like, he is actually a king. But he talks about, he is very balanced, but he's also really stingy. Like, you can see he's holding all his pentacles so tight. Like, he has this little community that he's built, but he really is afraid to lose it. Maybe the aha moment that you're having here is that you're ready to cut that out of your life, because it's an Ace of Swords, and the Swords is also about cutting things out that don't serve anymore. The Four of Pentacles also is about like a person, again, it could be an earth sign, who has a control issue, you know. He's really holding on tight to these Four of Pentacles, like he does not want anyone to touch them. They're his. They're gonna stay in this position. Nothing can move. I'm the king of my castle here, even though it's not, you know, he's not actually a king, but he kind of sees himself as that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and Cancer, I mean, that might be an aha moment for you. It could be your boss or something, or I don't know. But you're definitely seeing the truth in the situation, and you're ready to cut that kind of greediness out of your life, right? You just want to be happy and be passionate about your work. That's what you want, right? You're ready to charge towards this happiness and passion. It's also clarified by the Two of Wands. It's also clarified by the High Priestess in reverse, though. Not being connected to your intuition. The High Priestess in the upright, she's very connected to the moon, to her intuition. And I believe High Priestess is also one of your cards. She definitely represents like the moon, and you know, the balance of the dark and the light. She has a lot of wisdom and like a lot of knowledge and wisdom. That's how she's holding the scroll there. So, and this is actually 2-2, Two of Wands, and High Priestess is a major arcana, and she's the second in the deck. She's also the counterpart of the Magician. So, you have a choice here to make, right? Do I stay or do I go? Do I travel the world or do I stay at home? You know, you really, you're seeing this potential in you, is how I'm getting the message. The advice is, I think, to make the choice. 2-2 is significant. It's a master number. Definitely look up the meaning of 2-2. You can Google it, spiritual meaning of 22. It will tell you a lot. I think you're having a hard time trusting your intuition. But you're getting a lot of cards about traveling. And I think you are going to make a move here, Cancer, because the probable outcome is your card, the Moon card, and the Knight of Wands. And he is charging. It's not like the did I say Wands? Sorry, Knight of Swords. And he is flying, like he's going. So it's kind of like the Knight of Pentacles is the one that's not moving. The Knight of Cups is like holding out the cup, and he's like kind of like, hey, I have this cup of love, and like one foot of the horse is lifted. The Knight of Wands is really passionate now, and two of the hooves are lifted. And the Knight of Swords is absolutely in like full throttle. Full throttle speed, bullet ahead. But it's with the Moon card, which is really interesting, because the Moon card is about going within. It's about taming the wild within us, domesticating, maybe choices between that. It's also like an eclipse going on here, and you do have a Cancer new moon solar eclipse on the 21st of June. So that's coming up depending on when you watch this. I'm making this video on the 17th. So I really think this new moon and solar eclipse that's coming up in the end of June will really give you clarity towards this whole situation in July. It's going to really give you clarity about how you've been stuck in this like toxic energy. You're going to look at the details, and it's going to like really give you this passion to get up and make a change. You might not be actually moving, you know, it's just making a change. Some could be moving, but this is also just about making a change, right? And then the challenge, you know, is like, okay, so I know I need to make a move, make a change. And you might be up at night a lot thinking about how to make that move and change so that it really does give you like your wish fulfillment, you know, of this victory, of this happiness, of all the things you ever could ever want, right? And I think it's when you have these sleepless nights, or if this happens, and new moons also, you know, moon cycles do this to a lot of people. I know it does it to me. You're going to be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities. I think that's what this card is also mostly representing. So also watch out for that, you know. And your, you know, advice is that you will get that aha moment about how to make this change. And it has something to do with letting go of control. One way or another, whether that's you or the other person. Yeah, letting go of control, trusting your intuition more to make the choice of where to go or what to do next. You know, this man, he's got 2 wands and he needs to choose one. And he also holds the globe in his hand. Like the world is at his disposal in a sense. Like he can do anything he wants, right? It's like that kind of feeling. He's ready to go on a quest, you know, a quest to find his destiny in a sense. And your outcome, you have the Moon and the Knight of Swords. So you're definitely taking charge. You're gonna make this big time movement forward into what I feel like is yourself, because this is your card. You're gonna really charge forward into your authentic energy. You're gonna get out of the energy that you may start this month off in. You're getting out of this energy for sure by the end of July, or at some point in July, hopefully soon, right? Maybe it will happen within just a couple of days, who knows. And you're going to charge full steam ahead into your authentic energy of the moon, of Cancerian, of who you are. Just beautiful. I'm so happy about that for you. And when you do get there, for one, it's going to give you feelings of like your childhood. Like you're gonna feel nostalgic again. You're gonna feel like a kid. And then 7 of Swords, you know, is this guy and he's sneaking off out of the circus. And he's kind of sneaking into the 6 of Cups here. 7-6, right? So, or 6-7 actually. So it is a progression. But I was first reading at 7-6, so because the 7 of Swords, technically, what this card is saying is someone's like sneaking off with vital information, you know, and you feel like this person like feels like he has wild oats to wild oats to sow. He doesn't want to settle down. He just wants to keep traveling to the other next circus in town, kind of thing. And he takes like everything that he learns. That's what swords are, is knowledge, or you know, mental clarity, basically knowledge, to keep it easy. And he just like heads off with all this knowledge, right? And he's not sharing. So I think it's kind of like a bit of a kind of a warning, like don't, you know, try not to do. I mean, maybe you need to do that. Maybe you do have some sort of plan. If you really are making like a very, you know, yeah, actually that would make sense because you're making a change. And you know what, Cancer? Yeah, I normally I wouldn't always agree with the 7 of Swords, But you are in control, right? You are in control. And I just looked at the, the overall is the 8 of Swords, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. So it is a progression. Or going to the 6. I think for the 8 of Swords being your overall message, it's the underlining, right? So it's kind of like this kind of like it connects to all of this, every single card. And the 8 of Swords, she's tied and bound, but she can actually just like free herself. It's her own mental prison. And interesting, this was under it, the 10 of Pentacles, which is one of the best cards in the deck, they say, right? But it's all about material. It's also about legacy. It's about family traditions. Cancer, you might be feeling maybe bound to that kind of lifestyle. But I don't know if you're feeling like it's for you, There's something about it that's not making you feel authentic to yourself. It could just be the job you're in. Or it could be a lot deeper than that. It could go further, further back in generations. But it's yourself that's holding you back. You might think that your family might be disapproving this new idea if you have shared it with them. Maybe that's where this control thing happened and you felt like judged, or that, maybe your idea got shut down. So that's why I'm saying, to go back to the 7 of Swords, that maybe it's okay that you're going to hold on to some of these ideas that you have, at least for July. And it's going to make you feel kind of nostalgic, like a kid again. I don't know how that might sound like a weird way to tie in. It's that, or it's maybe, I don't know, maybe one of these ideas has to do with children. Maybe it's something that you remembered from your past that you still love to do. And you're not really quite ready to tell anyone yet. That's the message I'm really getting for my Cancerians. Alright, and I think that's all the messages I have for you today, Cancer. I hope this resonated. Let me know in the description, or not let me know in the comments below if this resonated. You can follow me on my Instagram, Facebook page. I'll put the links in the description box below. And on my Facebook page, it's at starcardtarot 8. That's, if you type that in for the search, you'll find me. It will give you a list of my private readings and an option for booking or messaging me on WhatsApp. So I hope to possibly see you there. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. And yeah, Cancer, you are such a beautiful hearted person. A lot of my closest friends are Cancers. I know that your heart is big and it's caring. And it's time to give that big heart back to yourself for this month. Really take some time for self-care, self-loving affirmations. And remember, you are in control of you and no one else. And no one else has control over you but you. Much love, and as always, keep shining that authentic star of yours.